Hello. I hope everyone can hear me well enough. My name is Josh, and this is my talk on We Rock, a geek community with a difference. So you can hear me okay, I hope. Awesome. So well, let's just get a move on, get start on here. So firstly, who am I? So I live here in Wellington, New Zealand. I work at a company called Catalyst IT, and Catalyst is a open source web technologies company. We build open source solutions for our clients, which makes me an open source software developer. And in particular, I'm a Drupal developer and contributor. And as a Drupal contributor, I'm also the Postgres driver and maintainer for Drupal. But I'll talk to you a little bit about that later on in the talk. I also have a blog post about geeky bits and pieces that I do. It's at geek.joshwaihi.com, and you can also follow me there on Twitter with username Josh Waihi. Aside from IT and geekiness, I love playing guitar. I'm a musician. I like to sing as well. I play rugby, which is New Zealand's national sport, and I was a recipient winner of IT Rockstar this year as well. So let's get started. IT is exciting, and it's really a fast-paced industry, and it's moving all the time. And that's what makes it so exciting. There's so many new technologies to learn and keep up to track with. Let me just show you, as an example, in my industry alone, we have several new technologies on the horizon about to come across the internet. For example, there's HTML5 that's starting up, and that introduces a whole new exposure to semantic web, which basically means computers will start to understand the meaning of websites rather than just ourselves, users. As a result, we'll be able to do more interesting things like do our shopping from a search engine rather than from a website. Another example is content management systems. We're building things up with JavaScript frameworks like jQuery or MoodTools, Prototype, and putting them integrating them with back-end management scripts such as Drupal, WordPress. And then another one is application environments, and integrations such as Facebook applications, and being able to harness the data that Facebook has. Also using frameworks like the Google Web Toolkit and building amazing applications with Chrome or Gmail. Google Wave is another thing to keep an eye out on. And as a result, we're seeing a lot of new things happening in IT globally, and globally in a social sense. For example, Facebook is one of the biggest the biggest social network in the world, and is actually bigger than a lot of countries in the world. Google and Yahoo completely changed the way that we search for information, retain information, and how quickly that we get that. Twitter is another great social blogging network that's really coming into its own, and other examples like Last.fm or Google Wave, which is on the horizon. Now, a beauty about our industry in IT is that its location doesn't matter, because it's the internet. The internet is always everywhere we go, and we can always connect to it. So no matter whether I'm here in Wellington, or I'm up in Auckland, or I'm overseas, I can still log into work. I can still do the development that I need to do and do my job successfully without any need to be in an office. And let me show you an example of that. I work on a content management system called Drupal, and it's a PHP framework which is built around managing content, such as authenticating a user, posting content, and interaction, things like forums or blogs, contacts, emails. It does a lot of things straight out of the box, and it is an open source product, which means that a lot of people spend their own time on this product to make it what it is, and these people are contributors from all over the world who aren't all in just New Zealand. Some of them, I work with people who are in France, who are in Canada, who are in England, America, and they are all just as important parts of the program. The way that we communicate is through things like IRC, which is a chat service. We discuss bugs and feature requests, etc. on Drupal.org, and post patches and review things. There's a whole process that we can do. All of these things online, and working remotely isn't for as long as we can get to the internet, it isn't the slightest of problems. Now, this year I was the recipient of the 920 IT Rockstar 2009 winner, and what something unique about Wellington and New Zealand in general is how we celebrate geekdom, and 920 is a good example of this in IT Rockstar. Basically, the aim of IT Rockstar is to celebrate the behind-the-scenes guys, the people who make stuff work and you take for granted, and it's also to showcase their talent and their passion for what they do. So how it works is you submit an application that's just a spiel about what you did, and a picture or a video about how it works, and then basically you get people to come to their website and look at your applications and vote, and the idea is to get as many people as you can, as many votes as you can, to try and raise awareness around it. And then judges cut you down to 10 applicants, where there's another session of voting, and then down to 5 applicants, and those 5 go to a finale night, and you get to do cool stuff like play Guitar Hero and smash computer screens. And the winner is announced that night, and they get given 10 grand to New Zealand to go spend on an IT conference overseas, so that pays for flights, accommodation, and conference expenses. What that meant for me was I'm now going to Paris in September for the Drupal conference, and I'll get to meet up with all these people that I work online remotely with, who I've never met face to face before. And also it means that I get recognised for my contribution to open source. So things that, for example, this very talk, if I had been for IT Rockstar, I wouldn't be here being able to talk about the things that I do and the open source, creating open source awareness. Just moving on. We'll get to the next slide. So moving on, if I can. Go on to the next slide. Okay. Is the final slide of my talk, which I can't seem to get up, is community with a difference. Wellington has a great community, and it's probably to do with New Zealand as a whole. We have 2 degrees of separation here in New Zealand, whereas the rest of the world is 6. So chances are we know each other pretty closely off. I don't know somebody, but I probably know someone who does. And as a result, we can kind of collaborate and connect a bit easier and know people as well. There's a lot of user groups and support groups here in Wellington. There's things like Perl user groups, Python user groups. I know there's several security user groups that go on. We have Girl Geek dinners, which I think is an international thing, but we host some of those here. And also next year, 2010, we have the Linux conf for Australasia held here in Wellington, which is going to be really exciting. So that's about all that I have to talk about. If you guys have any questions, feel free to type them up. I'll just be here for a while. Got 16 more minutes if anyone wants to say something. Otherwise, thanks very much for coming along and watching. I hope you're enjoying the expo. Thank you. Bye.